Welcome to the 𝗙𝗂𝗿 𝗙𝗶𝗿 channel. I'm your host, Melissa O'Connor. I frequently get asked what's the difference between a will and a living will. And they're very different. A living will does not pass any of your, designate who you want your assets to pass to. What a living will does is it allows you to put in writing your end-of-life desires with regards to your health care. So essentially a living will, you're answering the question of, do you want life-prolonging procedures if you're terminal? So if you're terminally ill, do you want the doctors to feed you and hydrate you artificially if it would only serve to prolong your life artificially, meaning without this IV keeping you hydrated and keeping you fed, you would otherwise just naturally pass. By having this source of food and hydration, you live longer and it takes you longer to pass naturally. So you can state in your living will, the document, of whether or not that's something that you desire. Should you be terminally or ill or at the end stages of your life? And it's very helpful for your family if you do put your wishes in writing, because sometimes the medical providers will be asking the person that you designated as your healthcare surrogate what your wishes are with regards to this. And sometimes it's a very difficult decision for a loved one to say not to give water. Water we associate with a lifeline, and so that's a really hard decision for many people to make. But if you already had your wishes in writing, then it's easier. We know that that was what your desire was, and we're honoring what you wanted. And so that's really a great benefit of having a living will. That's not to be confused with a do not resuscitate. Many times people also confuse living wills with a form that your medical provider could provide you if you were admitted into a hospital setting, which is called a DNR, or do not resuscitate. And those forms essentially provide you an opportunity to consent to not having resuscitation should you stop breathing. So should you stop breathing, you can say to your medical providers in advance, of course, if you fill out this form, don't bother resuscitating me. I want to just pass without being resuscitated and brought back to life again if I'm at that stage in my life. Those are two big decisions that it's really helpful to your loved ones if you fill out the forms and make those decisions while you are well enough to make those choices for yourself. So like I said, a living will, it's essentially opportunity for you to put in writing your end-of-life desires. It is not a will that is entered into probate that moves any of your legacy goals or assets, but rather it outlines how you would like to pass those types of goals. Would you like to just pass naturally? Would you like us to use every opportunity to maintain you alive and use all of our best efforts? You tell us in this living will what you would like for your end stages should you be facing that. I hope that this information has been helpful to you. If it has, I ask that you like and share with others. Thank you for joining me.